It's another edition of Tech20 Tuesday. Welcome back. Hope you all had a great holiday and enjoyed a little break. And welcome back to school and our continuing series on artificial intelligence in education. AI will do so much for you as a teacher, and hopefully it gives you back a lot of time in your day, but it can also allow you to be a little more creative and quick in terms of creating some original content for your students and for you to be able to use and to prompt some conversations and to augment some ideas and enhance those types of ideas that you're trying to portray. So today we wanted to give you a really quick introduction. So we know that AI will write essays and write letters to parents and do all those kinds of things. But one of the really cool things that AI is doing is that it's actually able to create images for you as well. So today we want to take a quick look at a couple of platforms, a couple of very accessible and easily accessible platforms for you to use into creating these images, any kind of image that you want, but also sort of just go over a few little ideas about prompt writing when you're creating images. It's a little bit different than if you want to create an essay or a piece of text. So today we're going to have a quick look at a couple of different options for prompt writing. The first one is Microsoft Bing. So Microsoft Bing is a search engine, but now they've introduced an image creator in there, and it is really easy and cool to do. You can sign up with a Google account. You can create your own account, and you notice here that I'm signed in using my Outlook account, which is a Microsoft account. But you can sign up with any of those free, and you create your own free account. It does have a mobile app as well that you can download, and it will keep all of your stuff. You'll notice over here that it's maintaining all of my recent pieces. So it's really easy to use. So this one here is just sort of a standard one that they put in just as a test. But you can see here now, I'm fascinated with like a penguin on the brain. Over Christmas holiday, I had the awesome opportunity to actually travel and go see some penguins. So let's say I wanted an image of a king penguin colony or a king penguin colony with many chicks just hatched. So this is so cool. You can see here now that this is actually creating an image based on what I've just asked it to do. Now, the neat thing about this is that it is not going out and finding an image on the web. It's not going out and finding a picture that somebody has taken. It's actually generating a pile of AI-generated images that I've done. So here is a picture that it just created in those 2 or 3 seconds that it asked to do. And so this is very, was it Happy Feet, the movie? Yeah, so this is very Happy Feet-ish. And so you can see here that it's giving me some options. It's created a couple of different options. And this is how quick that it can do this. And if I close up here, I can come back here and ask it to recreate these. Maybe I wasn't happy with either one of these. And we'll talk a little bit in a second or two about how to create or how to build better prompts. Just hatched, maybe I didn't want that many. Maybe I want a pair of king penguins. So it's going to hopefully just give me 2 king penguins, but then they wouldn't have too many chicks hatched. But we'll see what it does. So you can play with this. It'll do these, and from here you can actually download them and use them. The nice thing about this is that in terms of copyright, These images are created if and when you give content credentials, like normally you would say, that these picture was taken or created by so and so. All you need to do now is just generate it by AI, and you don't. I wouldn't even necessarily need to put the date in, but generate it by AI, just to give people an idea that that this is an AI generated image. It's good to be sort of transparent upfront with the viewers, with the consumers of this image. So you can see here that it does a pretty good job of doing what I asked it to do. And I can come back here. There's a couple more. Bing AI Image Creator is kind of my default one that I'm using. There's a bunch of others. But one of the other things that you might know or might not know is that inside of programs like Canva, they actually have an image creator inside of it now. And a lot of these platforms that are allowing you to build stuff. And so it comes underneath the pictures. And so I can come in here underneath images and I can put the same kind of image, a penguin or two penguins guarding a nest. And so now it's going to come up and it's going to give me an image. And so this is built right inside of Canva. And then I can now take that and sort of use it within Canva itself very easily. So that's the nice thing about these embedded generators, is AI tools, is that they'll do all kinds of nice stuff. Now, when I hit generate again, maybe I didn't like any of these options. I hit generate again, it's going to give me something. Maybe I didn't like the type of penguin it was, so I can get more and more specific. So you can see here that it's giving me some neat things. I'm going to click on these ones, and there I go. You can make them a little bigger so I can see them better. But you can see here that it's actually giving me a pretty good rendering of an image of two penguins, a nest, guarding a nest. Now, the neat thing is that if I was looking for a picture of two penguins, I could easily find one on the web. There might be some copyright issues, but I can find one that's probably got some creative content or Creative Commons licensing that I could use without too much issue. But where this really comes into play is kind of when you want to create some original content that really doesn't exist. So let's say I want two elephants dancing on the moon. I don't know why I would ever want that, but let's say I did. And so it's going to give me some options for two elephants dancing on the moon. And there I go. So these aren't ever going to exist in real life, if whatever real life is, but if you know what I mean. So this gives me some really kinds of cool options that I can play with. So these are sort of two types of tools. There's this standalone tool, the Microsoft Bing Image Generator, which is part of the Microsoft Bing search engine. And then there are tools built within, embedded within things like Canva. So look for those, and you can certainly do great stuff and similar stuff with both of them. But just know that a lot of the new design engines have AI built inside of them now, if not all of them. It's part of the gig now. So let's talk a little bit, and I want to come back here. I'm going to come back to Bing because I just find it a little easier to work. So let's say I'm looking for an image of, let's look at some different ideas about how we can find and generate the kinds of things that we want. So let's say I'm going to put down an image of an octopus. So it's going to just give me an image of an octopus that is created, or several images of an octopus, several options. And you can see here that they're being generated. There we go. So I've got sort of 4 different images of an octopus, but maybe it's not quite what I want. So one of the tricks to finding the things that you want to be a little more specific. So let's say an illustration of an octopus. So let's sort of give it some descriptors in the front of it to give it something, or the tool, a little bit more to work with. So we're going to see what this is going to give us, as opposed to the first image, which was kind of a sort of fun kind of thing. So let's say, let's see, it's going to generate me an octopus. So it's giving me something a little bit um, uh, more specific. Let's say a pencil sketch of an octopus. So you can see now that I'm getting a little more specific about the kinds of things that I want. And it's going to come back, and it's trying now to be more specific about the kinds of things that I'm looking for. So, okay. And so let's say I want to make this a photograph. So a little more real of I don't know, my octopus. So I'm going to switch this over of an Adelie penguin. I do know my penguins now. And so we're going to have a quick look, and we're going to see what kind it's going to give me now. So the more detail that you can give it, the better. So there, it gives me, oh, look, they're little, these are little Adelie penguin chicks. So that's, so, it's giving me more. You'll notice that these are a little, oh, this is a photographic sketch. So these are photographs. Okay, these are cool. Not quite what I was looking for. So I don't want to sketch, I want to photograph. That was I had left that descriptor in there. So there we go. So this looks pretty real. I mean, these are coming. I can tell it's an Adelie penguin, um, with mountains in the background. So we're gonna just have a look at that. So you can see here that the more description I get, and the subject has to be really clear. Details matter. So if you want to have, you notice here I put with mountains in the background. So the more details I can give it to live with, the more of a clear image it's going to give me of what I'm looking for. And this could have been something I saw last week. So really the sky is the limit in terms of the kinds of images that you can give it, or the kinds of details that you can give it. Now, let's say I want to make this a particular type of art. I'm going to take this photograph piece out, and so I'm going to add surreal at the end. So now it's going to create me more of an art piece. See what it does. And really all I'm doing is playing around with different things. So you can see now how it's completely changed. The types, or the content, the response that it's given to me. I can make this anime. I don't know what that's going to do, but it's going to give me a whole different type of response to it. I could do Art Deco. You could really do any kinds of content, any kinds of sort of styles that you would like. So you can see here that it's given me some different things. So the one other thing is that I wouldn't, so one of the things you want to make is that if you want no mountains, try not to use negatives. That's what I'm trying to say. Try not to use negatives in your prompts, because it really sometimes confuses the AI tool. So what I would say is, if I wanted no mountains, I just wanted ice with an Adelie penguin on an ice flow. So try to be positive and proactive. Give it the specifics that you want, but it's very difficult to negate out any content sort of inside of your prompt. And really sort of that's the kind of cool stuff you can do. Inside some programs, like inside of Canva, there is a way to generate different sizes, different aspect ratios, whether you want portrait or landscape. What I'm finding inside of Microsoft Bing is that most of it's going to come out square, but you're going to be able to sort of, once you save this and crop it, you'll be able to sort of generate the kinds of images, whether you're looking for a different size or a different shape aspect ratio on your image, then that will help a whole lot. So that is kind of if you're looking to generate these things, and you could use this as well in your classes as great image starters, as great conversation starters. There's lots of really cool ideas that you can use these for and generate sort of content that helps you and your students have great conversations. And your students can use these too. The one limitation is that you have to be 13 years old to create an account with Google or any of these platforms. But if you're a high school teacher, certainly the students can use them. And then, so any questions or comments? I am going to stop the recording, but if you have some comments, I am here. I see